Yo, what's up, guys? The Insane Game Freak here. I didn't actually plan to make a video. Wasn't planning to make one today, or at least not a discussion video. But this is something kind of got in my head, and it's not like it's not good enough for my gaming channel, but I feel like I should put more like discussions on this channel. I think I've made maybe two, the anime villains one. So this is another discussion for this channel, and it's pretty much from the title. If you haven't guessed it, it's reasons why you think Fairy Tail and Katekyo Hitman Reborn have not been dubbed in America or gotten a DVD license, for that matter, in America in general. Now, the reason why is that since the anime industry isn't in like the best of shape and they're trying to just grab shit they know is going to sell, Fairy Tail and Hitman Reborn can get the manga sale on, because, see, this is the thing with Fairy Tail and Hitman Reborn. And I've noticed, and I was watching an Ancast, which is Anime News Network's podcast, and they were talking about this on one of their shows. It's an old one, actually. And they brought up a couple points that make a lot of sense. It feels generic. Fairy Tail and Hitman Reborn come off as generic series. Plus that, the age group they're intended for are 15-year-olds. Hence why a lot of older crowd, people like me or Phone or Yokorama, which I know Yokorama likes the show, but what I mean generic is it's not anything that original. The only thing about it that's original is the fact that it's based upon, one is based upon mafia and one of them is based upon like guilds. Fairy Tales is really not original because that guild shit's been done before. Mafia, I will say the mafia thing, but the reason why I say it comes off generic because it comes off the same way One Piece and Naruto do when they're from their premises. Like, Naruto is a show about ninjas, even though half of that shit does not relate to ninjas. One Piece is about pirates, even though half the shit in One Piece do not relate to pirates. Katekyo Hitman Reborn is about mafias, but half that shit doesn't relate to mafias. Get it? It's like it's just, alright, I'll give you a prime example. Remember back in the 90s when Pokemon and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh first came out? Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were heavy hitters. Digimon didn't do so well. Wanna know why Digimon didn't do so well? Because when people first saw Digimon, what was the first thing that came in their mind? It's a ripoff of Pokemon. Now, I'm not gonna say, tell me you didn't get that a couple times. You've heard that phrase before. Digimon did well for itself because it's a very original series and has a deeper plot than Pokemon, which helped it out. But when you first look at Digimon, like the Digimon themselves, and look at Pokemon, and Pokemon came out, I think, a few years before, Digimon looks like a ripoff of Pokemon. Why do you think people don't respect Bakuman or Duel Masters, these newer shows? Because they feel like ripoffs of the older shows. Fairy Tail has that same issue. It feels like a ripoff. It doesn't feel like a direct ripoff. It feels more like it's too relatable to a particular series. Hitman Reborn isn't really on that level, but it's still generic because there's nothing really that's unique about the show. Like, there's not anything selling it. What's selling Naruto is the fact that it came out earlier. Like, the earlier you came out, the better position you seem to be in. Because Dragon Ball Z, if Dragon Ball Z were to have never come out in the 80s and it just started like in 2010, it looks generic as shit. Why? Because there's been so many other fighting shows. But see, Dragon Ball Z has its own originality, so it could take the hit. Like, Digimon could take the hit. That's why Digimon is still pretty well known. It's not as well known as Pokemon, but it's still pretty well known because it can take a hit. If Hitman Reborn came out any later than it had now, it couldn't take the hit. It's like, it's the parallel to Digimon. The parallel to Fairy Tail and Hitman Reborn is Mare and Zatchville, and that's how its career would be lasted out. Where it's a good show, but it can never be on TV. Well, it can never be finished on TV, I guess I should say. Because Zatchville was a really good show, and it came out in the 90s. I think it came out in the 90s or early 2000s and shit. And Zatchville only has like 150 episodes, I think. And they couldn't even finish that. They got to 100 and something. Dub-wise. What aired on TV was like, I think the TV didn't even finish. The TV only got to around the 90s. And it had like maybe 50 to 60 episodes left to go. And they couldn't finish it. And that's a parallel. And considering the fact it's hard to appease children nowadays, if Zatchbell couldn't do that well back in the early 2000s, there's no way in hell fucking Hitman Reborn or Fairy Tail is going to do that well this day and age. Plus, there's nothing really selling it. Like, there's another thing they mentioned. And this is actually One Piece's problem right now. The reason why One Piece isn't doing as well. It can't be sold merchandise-wise. Like, with One Piece, that's really what's killing it. Like, Naruto does have... The reason why it does so well is because the games sell ridiculously well. Because it has really good games. One Piece has decent games. And the fact that most of its early games, when the systems first came out, the people who had the license to it were for kids. And we only got a few games from them. Funimation got it so late in the game and got it on, and all the systems that their games were on that were really good games were already dying. So there was no point in putting any money to invest in the game. Get it? Like when Naruto first came out, they had shit on the PlayStation 2 and had shit on the GameCube. And then even when it went to the Wii and shit in the PlayStation 3, they got games on those two systems too. But when Naruto first came out, the PS2 and the GameCube were still like the two running systems. Like, Naruto has been out through the console war, like through the generation switch. One Piece was through the generation switch too. But One Piece doesn't have that many Wii games. It has like maybe 3 Wii games, and we only got one of them. Because by the time Funimation got the dub to it, it had already been through hell the 3 years beforehand. That's the same thing. Hitman Reborn and Fairy Tail are in the same situation. They can't sell, like, figures and shit don't work with them. Hitman Reborn has somewhat of a selling point because those little chibi characters, I'm not 100% sure who they are. I think that's like their teachers or senseis and shit, but whatever. They can sell on that, the cute shit, but it's like the same thing with One Piece selling off of Chopper plushies and shit. They can't sell on games because the gaming industry is kind of just ruled by Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. Naruto did so well because it's an original concept compared to the Dragon Ball Z games. Dragon Ball Z was punching, fighting, and energy blast. With fucking Naruto, it's fucking all of those things plus the added fun of jutsus and combos and the multiple different characters that have all these different techniques. That's why Naruto did so well. There's no merchandise selling point for Fairy Tail or fucking Hitman Reborn. It's on the same level as One Piece, and One Piece is just doing okay. And it's an original show, though. That's why I could see One Piece is pretty much shows the merit of a show. The show is legitimately better than Naruto in Japan. It does insanely better than Naruto in Japan. In America, it does alright. Why? Because of the shit it went through. And that marketing crap kills it too. Yet, we still have the mangas coming out, and we still have a dub for it. Hitman Reborn couldn't take that kind of hit. Neither can Fairy Tail. On top of that, they're going against these fuckers too. Everyone knows that you would have to cut down. And a lot of people go, 4 kids, I can see 4 kids getting one of those two, if not both of them. Why? Because it's not really a show geared towards the older fans. That's the other problem. Hitman Reborn and Fairy Tail are geared towards like 15-year-olds, 14, 15-year-olds. The problem with that is that y'all are the generation that don't buy shit. That's not a joke. It's not a lie. People who are 18 buy more DVDs than people who are 16. The 15, 14 generation aren't the generations who buy shit. I'm sorry. Y'all the motherfuckers who torrent everything. Not saying adults don't do it too, but it's more prevalent in the kids in like the younger ages. And plus that, it's a kiddie show. It's a kiddie show. They're both kiddie shows. Fairy Tail, I think, is a little bit more kiddie than Hitman Reborn, in my opinion. But they're still both kiddie shows. But I can't see Viz picking up Fairy Tail or fucking Hitman Reborn. At least not anime-wise. Neither can I see Funimation either, because it's not really a deep show. They're bullshit shows. They're shows that have been done before. Because Mare and Zatchbell are the same way. And they didn't do that well. And they came out before Naruto came out. Well, I think Zatchbell came out before Naruto, and then I think Mare came out. I think Mare came out after, which is the reason why Mare didn't get that. Mare only got like 50 episodes in, and Mare has like almost. I think Mare has around the same amount of episodes as Zatchbell does, and it bombed out halfway where fucking Zatchbell got. They're not marketable. They're generic as shit. I mean, literally, it feels like Hitman Reborn has the same kind of premise. Hitman Reborn is to fucking Mafia as One Piece is to pirates or Naruto is to ninjas. We've seen that kind of relation before in 2 other series. There's nothing really original within their shit that makes it worth getting. And the fan base isn't that high. With shonens, you kind of have to be a little bit more creative because shonens are overdone so much, it's like you're gonna get the same shit repetitively. Like with Mare, it kind of goes from like this world is in danger and we end up fighting in a bullshit tournament, which is like a really dulled down version of what the fucking Cell Saga was, pretty much. Like with shonens are hard to do just purely based upon the fact that a lot of shit in shonens is overdone. Fairy Tail, from what I've conceived, is doing the backstories. Is kind of going in a One Piece kind of direction. The same thing, but with Hitman Reborn, from what I know of, I think Hitman Reborn is kind of going kind of a Naruto-like kind of direction. It's like you gotta have your own original shit. It's harder to get a really good shonen. You can get a bullshit shonen, which you like, which is where Hitman Reborn is at. It has a decent fan base in Japan. But it doesn't, in America, it's not like there. It's not marketable. People with those shows, considering the fact of the age groups it's aimed at, you know, the generation of pirates is what I like to call it. On top of the fact that Hitman Reborn is over 200 episodes. And if you think about it, Zatchbell didn't even get all the way through its episodes. It only has like, and I think it has like 50 to 60 episodes less than what Hitman Reborn does. You're not going to finish it. And because it's generic, you definitely aren't going to finish it. Fairy Tail's only 50 episodes in, so, you know, there's a possibility that it may be finished or not. But I'm just saying, generic shit doesn't really work well in America. And to pick up Hitman Reborn, it's not like it's a bad thing, but at the same time, it's not necessarily a good thing either. That's why the manga got picked up, but to grab the anime means someone has to waste the time at dubbing over 200 episodes. When the show's generic. Not really going to happen. Fairy Tail, I think it's too early. It's like 50 episodes in, and it's ongoing. And I've noticed big publishers don't really like fucking with ongoing series. One Piece kind of fucked that up because the One Piece position is just okay right now. Kind of makes them go, we can grab an ongoing series, but if we grab it and it sucks, we're going to drop it halfway through. They've done this with other shows. They do this with shows that aren't even fucking 100 episodes long, so yeah, you might want to watch that shit. But, I mean, these are just my personal opinions on what I believe is the reason why these two haven't gotten licensed. They're just not shows, they don't have anything that original going for them. Nothing that really grabs you. I mean, yeah, Hitman Reborn is about Mafia. That's fairly interesting, but it doesn't grab you. One Piece was in the same position when it started out, but One Piece got a huge following because of the way Oda did his shit. Hitman Reborn doesn't do that. And Fairy Tail's generic. That fucking guild magic shit's been done. And a lot of times, Mare's about the same damn thing as Fairy Tail. Just kind of a quicker version of it because they were like, let's just get through the bullshit. But this is my discussion. I would like to see comments, preferably. I would like to see video responses for the more part on this subject, and just what you guys think, why you think these two aren't getting a license. But that's my main idea. It's just not merchandise, the marketing, the genericness of the show. But see, that's all I have for this discussion. Life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you guys later. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and video responses are preferred. Peace.